The next movie up is a nice little treat from New Zealand called Black Sheep. Black Sheep takes place on a small farm in New Zealand between two brothers named Angus, played by Eli Kent, and Henry, played by Nick Fenton, and their friend Tucker. They're rounding up sheep, doing whatever, sheep herding, doing what they do. They live on a sheep farm. That's just the family business, right? Well, Angus, the older brother, wears a leg brace, walks with a limp, so he really can't do a lot of help on the farm. The little brother does quite a bit. This doesn't set really well with Angus. He's kind of resentful towards his little brother. He causes a lot of problems between them and does a lot of shit, like any brothers do with each other. It's just a little bit worse because he wants to be more active and help out a lot more than what he does, but he just can't physically do it. So, one day when Henry comes into the barn, his brother Angus is wearing a sheep. Yeah, he's wearing a sheep. Scares the shit out of Henry. Just completely fucking mortifies him. As this is going on, Henry is on the ground and he's trying to scoot away and getting screaming, and his brother Angus is making sheep noises and chasing him down, blood all over the place. Their housekeeper comes in and informs them that their dad has just died in a bad accident. We then move forward to about 15 years later when Henry comes back to the farm to pay a visit to his brother Angus. He hasn't been there, hasn't had anything to do with sheep in the past 15 years because of what his brother did to him. I mean, it mortified him. He was completely mortified. He hates fucking sheep now. Anytime he gets around them, he starts having panic attacks. He has to go to a psychiatrist for it. He just doesn't fucking like them now. Well, he has to go back to the farm because he's got to sign off and sell his part of the farm to his brother. His brother's been running the farm. He wants all of it, so Henry agreed, well, I'm never going to do it again. I'm never going to be around it, so I'm just going to sign my part off, right? Well, Angus has done quite a bit of shit over these past 15 years. He's developed a clone of some sheep. A super sheep, if you will. A big fucking, like a sheep on steroids. Really, really, really beautiful sheep, man. No fucking flaws. Its wool is just so perfectly white. And he wants it all. So, they argue about some things for a while. Henry leaves with Tucker, and they're just going along, and they encounter a couple of local hippies named Grant and the girl named Experience, played by Danielle Mason. They sneak into the farm. They take some pictures of the research lab, and they try to steal a sheep fetus. Well, they do steal a sheep fetus in this jar, and they take off. Well, as they're running from the lab techs, they split up, and the dude's carrying the jar. He falls and it breaks, and this sheep fetus takes off. It's not dead. It's like this fucking mutated sheep, right? This little mutated sheep fetus thing. Ends up biting him and more or less fucks him up. Well, we get back to the girl that runs across Henry and Tucker. Tries to hold them hostage, tries to make, tries to give them the whole Greenpeace shit. Like, we shouldn't hurt the animals. Fucking, it doesn't work, dude. Hilariously, man, the tables get turned. They grab the gun from her. She's their victim now or whatever. And it just, the turn of events that I just explained lead into one of the most original movies I've ever sat through. It was perfect. It made me laugh. Come on, man. They're fucking zombie sheep. The sheep, the little sheep fetus that bites the guy, starts to transform him into a sheep. It's, yeah, I'm just kind of, I'm at a loss for words, man. It just, some of the shit that you see in this film, it's, I don't know, it's like, they actually give the girl a ride back into town, and they see some sheep off in the distance eating something, and of course they got white people-itis, so of course they go check on it. Me personally, no. I see sheep crowded around something that looks pretty fucking big from a distance. I'm out of there. I'm gone. I'm not going to go inspect. I don't fucking care what it is. Stay away from me and we're good. Okay? Stay away from me. No, they can't do that. They go inspect. Tucker gets out. The sheep bites Tucker on the foot and infects him. Tucker's fighting the sheep off in the cab of the truck while Henry and Experience are trying to fucking fight off all these sheep that are chasing them now. I mean, it's like there's a fucking were-sheep outbreak, dude. I mean, there's these fucked up, mutilated sheep, werewolf little fucking things running around, bang and shit, eating people, and it's fucking crazy. The last hour of this movie, man, that's all you fucking see is sheep running around and fucking flying in the air, leaping in the air, attacking people, thus turning them into sheep eventually. I mean, not right off the bat, of course, but eventually, yeah. I mean, it happens. It happens. Oh, fuck, dude. I don't even fucking know where to go. There's just so much shit in this movie. It was brilliant. I mean, like I said, it was very fucking original, and it took a while, I believe, for this fool to come up with this shit, man. It's a very good story. I mean, here in this movie lies so many homages to so many old school greats. The sheep within this film reminded me a lot of the werewolves in The Howling, the way they acted, the way they moved, the shit that they do. There's just so much. There's so much there. It's almost an identical scene where a human turns into one of the were-sheep. The effects of the sheep were phenomenal. I believe it was the Weta Effects group that were involved behind this. They've done a few other things that were just amazingly cool. They're somebody you should really keep an eye out for. The Weta Effects group from New Zealand is badass. They know their shit. The movie was awesome, man. I mean, it's got so many elements in it. It's like if you're into the Shaun of the Deads or the Evil Deads or anything like that, you're gonna fucking love this movie. But at the same time, it's got elements such as The Howling and Ginger Snaps, and to where it's also a serious were-sheep, werewolf-like styled movie. I mean, it's got both. You know, you've got your comedic flair on one side, and you've got your actual horror. You know, your natural horror, and it fuses very well. You don't. It's not like watching a movie that's supposed to be a horror movie and you're just laughing your ass off the whole time. No, it's not that. You do laugh a lot. There's a lot of times where I was just like, what in the fuck is going on here? But all in all, man, it's a good, creepy fucking movie. Even with the comedic flair that they add in it while you're watching it and laughing, you're getting tripped out because they're just fucking mutilating people, man. I mean, it's a balls out sheep fuck fest, man. They fuck people up. And on that note, you can even be prepared to see a little man on sheep bestiality going on in here. It's pretty amusing. You know, when the dude gets caught and afterwards it's like you just got through watching Emmanuel 42 or some shit on Skinamax, and the fool's walking around with just a dress shirt, no pants, no underwear, and he's smoking a cig. You know, it's fucking amazingly weird. Black Sheep is easily one of the coolest, funnest fucking movies that I've ever watched, man. I highly recommend it to anybody. Even if you're not a horror movie fan, if you just randomly every so often watch a horror movie, man, watch it because it's a cool movie and you'll like it. It's done very well. I was really impressed at the production values of it. It's by far, I mean, it's a brilliant movie. Like I said, man, it's from New Zealand. It was very impressive. I didn't know shit like this could come out of New Zealand. No offense, guys, but you know, New Zealand, Australia, you just really don't get a lot of good films like that. I do believe that zombie flick, God, The Undead or some shit like that, the alien zombie flick, I think it was a New Zealand flick, which is a pretty dope-ass movie in its own right. So I guess I'd say that the movies that do come out, the movies that I have seen, have been really fucking good. I mean, New Zealand's on to something. I think that they're slowly creeping up into the annals of horror filmmaking countries. They still got a ways to go. I mean, let's be honest, Asia and France are just annihilating everybody right now. I mean, nobody's come close to topping the shit that they've offered. Black Sheep's cool, people, man. I'm gonna fucking stop rambling now. I'll recommend this movie, dude. It's a badass movie. I love it. I recommend getting the unrated director's cut. It's got some extra goodies on it that the actual one doesn't have. It's one of my favorite movies, and I'm very honored and very happy that I own this movie. It's the shit, you. Watch it.